My lovely, dear, analytical Virgos. This is your horoscope for April 2024. And let me tell you amazing news. This month we have two amazing angels, Jupiter, planet of luck and prosperity, joining forces with planet of surprises, Uranus, making our life full of surprises and positive luck and bringing even more prosperity into our life. Stay tuned for the moment it happens in the month. I will tell you all about it in a second, but in general, I love the April because especially the beginning, even though we are beginning it with Mercury retrograding, your ruler, my dear Virgos. Mercury retrograde, and plus we have a solar eclipse in April, and this very rare conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus that will shower over all of us glitter of stars. Amazing. Now let's start with Mercury retrograding from 2nd of April Central European time. If you're in a different time zone, it might be already 1st of April starting for you. Whole April up until 25th of April, we have Mercury retrograde, meaning moving backwards. That is your ruler, my dear Virgos. Mercury is the planet of communication, planet of signing contracts. We need it to be sharp, to sign those contracts, to make the decisions. But when it's retrograde, better to postpone those things. Better to delay the things if possible, not to sign contracts, and better to retake, like remake, rebuild, reconsider things. And I made a separate video about Mercury retrograde with more in-depth information there for every and each sign prediction for April. Please go check on my channel page, and if you're interested, listen to that video too. But here I would like to briefly mention that Mercury, being your ruler, gonna retrograde in your house of finances. Not your earned income, but the money from other people's house. That the money that comes from other people, through other people to you. Now here it's very extra important. Better, I think twice before investing. Signing contracts about inheritance or taxes or dividends, and don't start anything new during Mercury retrograde. Allow it few days, even after 25th of April up until May. May will be the month when you can take all the actions, but April so far is the month when you have to sit back, watch, and just observe. Virgos are very good observers, even to the smallest details. Now just do what you do the best, my dear Virgos. Just sit back, do not initiate, do not act, but observe and take the decisions and signing papers in May, not in April. Plus we have eclipse in April, meaning we have a tunnel vision. You know what it means? Like there was a first part of eclipse was on 25th of March, and second act is coming on 8th of April. And between these two dates, it's 2 weeks of time, and it's called tunnel time, when everything is dark, stardust dark, and everything is uplifted in air, so you never know how it falls. So you have to just relax and just watch and let the stardust to settle, and then act with whatever information, whatever life change, or whatever situation you are ending up after this eclipse, because eclipses bring exactly those things, life-changing situations, destiny situations, some things that we do only once in our life, like get married, or I don't know, give birth, or graduate, or some things that happen only once, and some things that we remember for a long time, and we can quickly recall what was that, like around that time, oh, I did this, I did that, and so forth, and I made another whole video on eclipse, about eclipse on 25th of March, and I will make another video about eclipse of 8th of April, so stay tuned. I'll give more in-depth information in those videos too. But if you're interested about eclipse that happened on 25th of March, go check it out on my channel. Now on 5th of April, now you got the April in general, how to say, the picture, right? So with these things happening, it seems like universe is telling you, my dear Virgos, stop. Take a breath, sit down, and, observe. Let it go, kind of a blend, with the flow. Go with the flow, do not act, and just observe and react. It's very good time to redo things as retrograde states of Mercury. So to remake or reanalyze, give it a second thought. I know you guys, Virgos, do 10 times thinking before cutting, but universe is, making sure that you do it again and again before you make all the actions in May, because in May is the time to act. Now, 5th of April, planet of love, Venus, and planet of beauty and money will actually try to help you out with Mercury retrograde in your finances house, which is other people's finances house, as I said, eighth house. But Venus itself will be in detriment. When planet is in detriment, what does it mean? Like, when planet is in detriment, it's a little bit half asleep. It doesn't shower all those qualities, amazing qualities that it has, but it's more like a less active, kind of a sleeping beauty, this Venus. And that happens to be your 8th house. Each planet has its own place of detriment, like some signs. When they come into some sign, they don't feel themselves well. They don't blend with the energy of the sign well. So that's why they don't act as proper as they should, as full as they should. And Venus here, for the whole April, it will be in a detrimental sign to her. That happens to be your 8th house. So this is a double sign from universe of caution when it comes, with affairs involving someone else's money or deals on other people's money, etc. Especially those of you who are in banks or investments, this kind of occupations, really take extra caution. Now, 8th of April, we have new moon solar eclipse in your same house, house of other people's money, 8th house. Fantastic one. This eclipse is amazing, positive one. In the long run, I haven't seen such a positive eclipse. Usually eclipses are pretty intense. This one is sugar sweet, my dear Virgos. I will make a separate video on that. And just a little remark here, only some of us will get the news of eclipse exactly on the day it appears. In this case, it's 8th of April, but most of us, usually we get, eclipses deliver their news during 1 month before it appears and 1 month after it appears. So from 8th of March up until 8th of May, this is the period when eclipses deliver news for each of one of us and change our lives, our destiny, And eclipses have, 10 times of power of one new moon in this case. So it's very powerful. Work with eclipses, they are like destiny changers. Finally, eclipses happen because of the North Node and South Node, destiny nodes. And this is like a compass, of the universe. It's a tool to correct destiny of each of us, Hey, you are not going there. You're not going the right direction. Let me help you here. Something, this kind of sort of eclipse message. This eclipse falling on your 8th house, it's a house of investments. Might be glowing area for you. And again, because it's the beginning of the month, do not act upon eclipse's messages. Give it the time. Acting time will come when May comes, my dear Virgos. I know with your sharp minds, you will try to act upon those messages, but stay calm. Because eclipses will deliver news and settle the news. It needs time. It might bring additional some sort of chapters to that news, so that you get a full picture before you make the decision. And because this 8th house will be glowing area, because of this solar positive eclipse, like you might see positive returns from your investments, or it might be your wife or husband might be seeing those amazing returns. Or it might be that your, let's say for some Virgos, it might be about loan, mortgage, get approved from any financial institution or banks. This situation that I'm giving, one or two might be applying to you, but not all of them, because we're all different at the end, right, Virgos? We're all Virgos, but we're different because we consist of three signs: sun sign, rising sign, and moon sign. That's why I all the time say, do check up your rising sign and moon sign too. They are equally important and strong. Some people are born at night, some people are born, during daytime, and some people are born right before the sunrise, let's say. And in those cases, in different cases, moon might be the strongest, or rising sign might be the strongest, but all of them will be bringing situations in our lives. These are 3 points of our chart that are most important and sensitive, and these signs are really the bringers of the news. So do check the horoscopes for your rising sign and moon sign too. Make sure of it. Now, coming back to these situations, for some of you, my dear Virgos, you might start paying less taxes somehow for some reason, or for those Virgos who are like at school or dealing with studies, could be that scholarship funding will get approved, or you might start receiving actually that scholarship. And for some Virgos, it's about alimony, and this will be the time when you will receive it, or you will get entitled. For other Virgos, a whole new topic of esoterics like spirituality, astrology journey might begin. Like some of you might really get interested into this area because 8th house rules this area. And also psychological therapies might start. Some of you, if you decided to get a therapist for yourself, that's amazing, isn't it? So any sorts of therapist, not necessarily psychologist or any other therapist. Maybe it will be astrologer. 8th house is the house of conception. Now, those of you who are like on this fertility journey and trying to get pregnant, right? You might actually start around with this solar eclipse your fertility journey, and maybe you will try IVF, some sort of non-traditional methods, or actually you might get the news that it worked, my dear Virgos. 8th house is also about health situation. Might be getting a new, let's say, positive diagnosis. It might also happen if you've been having some sort of issues. Now that issue will be sorted out. This house is also a house of inheritance. You might get inherited something, my dear Virgos, like a house or a car. And in general, like beginning first week of April, we all will be feeling more compassion, kind of wanting to share everything with everyone, and in terms of feelings and in terms of material things, and kind of helping everyone. This kind of feelings, more compassionate kind of being, will be all up in the air during first week of April. Amazing, isn't it? Now, this new moon solar eclipse will be fantastic one, but just give it the time to act fully, to show you the message fully first before you take the decision. 19th of April, Sun, giver of life, light of our universe, will shine in your 9th house, travel house. Might be traveling around this date, 19th of April, or actually wanting to travel, maybe planning to travel, warming your days. And 2 days after, right on time, 21st of April, this rare conjunction that I promised to tell you all about, Uranus, planet of surprises, and Jupiter, planet of luck and happiness, they're gonna meet. They're gonna join forces in your travel house, in your 9th house. And this will happen in a so compatible sign to yours, my dear Virgos. You are in such a lucky position. And, this conjunction, this aspect is a very rare one, because these two, they are like angels of the universe. They are benefic planets. They have a lot of benefits to give to people, in astrology. And they're going to meet. And they usually meet only every 14 years. That's how rare is this. I've been waiting for this conjunction so much. But we've been feeling their meetup already since last part of March. Whole April will be feeling, and May also. because as soon as they came closer in March, we start feeling it, you know. And 21st of April will be the date when they will be exact, you know. They will shake hands, they will hug each other, you know. After 14 long years, they will greet each other at the same point, you know, same sign of your chart. Next time they will meet, it will be 2037, but it will be already in a different sign. So can you imagine that for them to meet in the same sign, it will take even longer. Such a rare aspect. And usually, I mean, not usually, but no one is alive who is alive now at that time will be, you know, to witness their meetup in the same sign as 21st of April. It will happen on 21st degree, meaning those who are born 13th of September, plus or minus 5 days, will be feeling like, let's say, more of a luck. But all of us will get the portion of luck here, because Uranus and Jupiter, they are planet of expansion. They both, you know, planet, whatever they touch, they expand it in a positive way. They make it bigger. And these two planets are planet of big, like, masses of people. And you know, their meetup is happening kind of in your house of luck, because I like to call this aspect surprise luck aspect. And this surprise luck aspect will happen exactly in your house of luck. Fantastic news, my dear Virgos. Expanding your life meaning in your luck in general. How lucky you are. You might have, I don't know how many times I already repeated this. You might have last minute travel, or actually, you know, for some Virgos, you might meet your mentor, like life mentor, let's say teacher, someone who you're gonna respect, teacher on your journey, let's say, towards expanding your mind in general, how you see this life. Somehow is it like the picture is getting bigger, my dear Virgos, in a quest for searching, you know, meaning of life. You might learn something new that will strike you as thunderstorm, you know. This is very good for lucky students, Virgos, you know, like getting admissions to university, or someone who, you know, the teacher that some of you gonna meet will have such an influence in general, and most probably will be a foreigner, most possibly. And he or she, for sure, you know, destined to expand your vision for your life and your mind. I think that's a long waited fresh air is coming, my dear Virgos. And some of you, my dear Virgos, who are writers, you know, will have a bestseller book or research or an article, whatever you write, or maybe a song that will have actually broad impact and reach to the whole world, you know, from, you know, people to different parts of the world. And that will be truly bestseller, become a bestseller. So watch on that. Ninth house is also legal cases house. For some of you who are involved in legal cases, it will turn, you know, suddenly positive, surprisingly positive. Congratulations on that. Ninth house is also house of foreign documents, everything related to visa, passport application, or residence permit application, you know, and positive outcomes of your visa, passport application might come in as the news. And of course, exams. Those who are, you know, taking an exam around this day, you are in luck. And especially those who are retaking the exam. Don't worry, you're gonna pass it. You might have a sudden opportunity to immigrate somewhere far abroad as well, for some of you guys. Don't miss that opportunity, my dear Virgos. And look at the horizon. That opportunity is coming, my dear Virgos. And April will be finishing up by, you know, with full moon. On 24th of April, we have full moon in your house of communication, house of siblings, and your third house. And full moons are all about, you know, closure. They bring some situations to an end. That usually that was already, you know, unfolding for quite a long time. And full moons also like you know, big bulb of light. They shine over situation that requires your attention. They show something, some part of your life that needs your action, you know. And most probably the news by this full moon, most of us won't like, because a full moon will be, in disagreement with Pluto, planet of transformations. That is a heavy planet. And, it will be happening in your house of siblings. For those who have siblings, news won't be positive, might not be positive. Or it might be also, if it's not about siblings, and if you don't have siblings, it might be about any other relatives or neighbors also, because third house is the house of neighbors. Might be, the news might be, related to their job situation, kind of occupation, what they do for a living. They might say, for example, they are changing jobs. Or they simply lost their job, let's say. Or it might be about their, if it's not about their kind of a work situation and it's everything is perfect, then it might be about health. Their health might be a concern, and they might need some checkups, and make sure that they do, and keep in touch with them on their situation. For some Virgos, if everything is all right, with siblings or neighbors and nothing of this kind of sort, it might be about communication, because third house is the house of communication. And some communication might go very wrong, especially with Mercury last day retrograding on 24th of April, because Mercury is notorious on its last retro day and first retro day, causing all sorts of mishaps and miscommunication, misunderstandings, and mistakes, and all sorts of errors. Some sort of misunderstanding might happen might be triggered by this full moon, but most probably it was already building up there. For some Virgos, it might be involved, news might be involved about courses that attending. They might end, and you might not feel satisfied, like with the quality, with what you learned, feeling like you paid for nothing or learned nothing. Or it might be the situation that you actually took up this course because at the job it was a requirement at your workplace, like they pushed you to take up this course maybe that you didn't want to take up, this kind of things, this kind of situation might be. For some of you guys, it might be about travel situation that you will have to take because of work or in order to work, kind of a travel back and forth, and it will be kind of short distance, but still travel, right? Maybe you have to drive somewhere somewhere near, somewhere not far, but you won't be liking it. Or if it's not about job situation, then it might be like traveling back and forth because of health concerns and issues again. Like having to go for a checkup or doctor appointment to a near town, or a city, but not having available at your place, some kind of this kind of issues. It's also, third house is also about driving skills. You might actually not pass the exam if you are driving now and you have exam ahead. Do not be sad. Anyhow, it's a Mercury retrograde. Blame everything on Mercury. Joking. Better actually to postpone this exam if you have such a chance. Or it might be also if you're already a driver, let's say established driver, and you have a car. Your car might get some sort of issues, technical problems, during Mercury retrograde. All technical things go crazy. They go break. So this might happen to your car because it's happening in your third house, this full moon. And lastly, Mars, planet of action. This is engine inside of us where we put our motivation, all our activities. 30th of April, at the end of April, will move into your same 8th house of other people's money. Only by the end of the month, my dear Virgos, is investments might get proper movement, actually, from, fluctuating to more dynamic, let's say. Or you might be trying, some of you guys might be trying an IVF procedure. those of you who are in a fertility journey, conception journey, this will be the time. Most probably you'll be busy with that, putting a lot of effort and attention and a lot of actions back and forth. Or you might hear from your doctor about the procedure of this IVF procedure, will take place, because 8th house is house of conception and fertility. For some of you, those especially who are studying, students, you might be also, you might actively start applying for scholarships around this date, or actually get your first scholarship. Start getting it, or any other funding, like I don't know, bank loan. And some of you who are buying a house or a car, only by the end of April you might finally see that bank loan coming through and approved, and seeing money to come into your account. 8th house is also house of health, and here you will need to take extra care, my dear Virgos, because Mars is a planet of all sharp objects, like cutting objects. There might be some situation for some of you guys that you might go under small surgery or you might need one. And for some of you, it will be about tax application if it's not about surgery, because you guys are very healthy folks. You follow all the routine, my dear Virgos. Thumbs up on that. So, very small portion of you guys will really go under surgery or even need health attention, And most probably, actually, it will be about your tax application for most of you. Or actually, like paying a visit to a bank, or dealing with inheritance also at the table. A lot of action around those activities, around these topics, my dear Virgos. Whatever it is, please do let me know in the comments under this video. And subscribe and like if you find information helpful and if you learn one or two things new. I wish you the best April. Bye bye.